Hi, it's Chelsea from Binge Eating Breakthrough. And one of the things I hear most often is that binge eating is always emotional. It's always related to some sort of, past childhood trauma or some sort of overriding stress or some sort of emotion that you're trying to run away from. So you eat food to, get away and distract from those emotions. And I would say that that's kind of true and false, however, because getting too hungry is one of the most common reasons why I myself actually binge eat. It's whenever I get too hungry. And so that's actually a biological driver to eat because I'm hungry. Or maybe I've restricted a certain kind of food because I'm on a diet, so I restrict sugar, or I restrict, white flour or white carbs, refined carbs. And I'm restricting a certain kind of food and only allowing myself to have a certain kind of food, such as when I'm on a diet. Well, then your brain, your amygdala, that old brain as they call it, or your lizard brain, that part of your brain is designed to keep you alive, and so it gets triggered and it says, oh, I'm being restricted, oh, something's being withheld, or oh, I'm overly hungry, must eat, and it drives thoughts into your brain that say, must eat, must get food, must overeat to replenish, so that just in case this happens again and I don't have a lot of food accessible, I'll still have something, to keep me through, to hold me through, right? That's what that part of your brain is designed to do. So sometimes the binge eating drive is actually more biologically or primally driven rather than just the result of an emotion or some sort of emotion from your past or something you're running from. Now, however, stress, emotions, that can cause you to turn to food for comfort, right? It's a pleasure. It's a relief. For myself, it was just kind of a release and relief at the end of the day. And I was going through various things in my life. And at the same time, even when my life was good, I would turn to binge eating. But that's because I had a habit, right? So when you turn to food, initially to maybe get away from stress or just distract yourself or just because you're bored, when you do that, it suddenly releases the pleasure chemicals in your brain, right? Your brain releases these chemicals as you start to get pleasure, and then your brain starts to enjoy that, right? And then you get sort of addicted to those chemicals being released. And over time, the more you turn to food, the more you release those chemicals, the more you start to ingrain a new habit. And the more you ingrain the habit, the easier it becomes just to do the same thing over and over and over again, right? So I would invite you to explore the idea that binge eating isn't always just an emotional thing. It can be a habit, right? After my binge eating became a habit, I didn't need to have an emotional trigger. I just habitually every evening overate. I overate sugar, for instance, every evening, whether I was having a great day or not. So it's not always necessarily an emotional driver, and it doesn't necessarily mean your life's bad or you're avoiding something, you had horrible parents or whatever that's causing you to binge eat. It might just be that you have a programmed habitual behavior that needs to be reprogrammed. So if you like this, if this is interesting to you in any way, check out my website at bingeeatingbreakthrough.com. I have 3 training videos and a video course called Binge Eating Breakthrough that helps walk you through learning how to make these distinctions and be able to overcome binge eating for yourself. Thank you.